Okay, what's up, guys? I got something on my mind today. Something I want to share with you guys. It's been said, and even Joe Biden himself has said this, which I mean, obviously, it doesn't surprise me because he says some really stupid things. But he said that climate change is the biggest thing, the biggest what's the word I'm looking for? The biggest problem that humanity faces, the biggest threat to humanity. That's what I'm trying to get out. But I wanted to share this with you because it's so true. The biggest threat that humanity faces is not climate change. It's not domestic terrorism. It's not Muslim terrorists. The biggest threat that humanity faces is a lack of real men, right? Real men don't exist anymore. They're very few and far between. What we have these days is a bunch of boys, little tiny baby boys running around in grown men's bodies. And this has thrown everything off what's the word? Kilt? Off balance, okay? I'm not going to use magical words that I don't really fully understand. Kilter. I think it's kilter. But anyway, you see, when God created mankind, he created Adam first and he created Eve secondly. Not that she's not any more important or any less valuable, but there's an order to the way that God does things, okay? And we've lost this over time. People don't realize this, right? Man's number one need in life is honor. Woman's number one need in life is security, okay? We live in a world today where men have been dropping the ball and they're not offering that security to women, right? And that in turn, the women cannot honor a man who's not offering that security. So it throws everything off. So now we have these women that need to stand up and start doing things on their own and offering their own security, right? Which has gotten to the point now where you have this extreme feminist movement where you have women thinking they can compete against men in sports, right? They're thinking that even though they're playing at a professional level, they need to be paid just as much as the men do because they're professionals, even though they're not producing near the amount of revenue. Right? And what does this do for men? This throws men off and they completely lose their identity because they no longer, number one, they're not meeting that need of a manly role. And number two, now they have no identity. And now they're humiliated because you have these strong women out there that are providing for themselves and doing all these things, which, let's be honest, it's the man's fault. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a woman who's working and providing and doing those things, for the family. But that shouldn't be her number one need, her number one goal in life. That security is supposed to be met by a man in her life. If she chooses to work and contribute, that's great. But that's the biggest thing that this world, this country is facing, is the lack of real, true men, true godly men. Men who open the doors for ladies, who always pick up the check, who let their woman know that she's the most beautiful woman in the room, regardless to who's in there. Right? Who protects her, who keeps her safe, who lets her know that in any situation, he's got her back. She has nothing to worry about. That's missing in today's world. I mean, for crying out loud, you have grown men playing video games until 3 or 4 in the morning. Come on, bro. What's wrong with you? That's not what a man is supposed to be doing. You have men, sitting there. I see them sitting at restaurants with their girlfriends and their wives, and they're just sitting on their phone the entire time. Like, come on. What is that? True men don't exist anymore. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson because he calls it as he sees it. Beta males. Right? We need more true men, alpha males. And I'm not saying I'm not a chauvinist, right? I'm not disrespecting women in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that the lack of real men in today's world, in today's society, is what's ruining this country. What's ruining life in general. So I encourage the men out there to step up. You know, there comes a time when you have to push away the boyish things and start acting like a man. Provide for your family. Work 2 jobs if you have to. That's what life is about. Life is not about having everything handed to you and this isn't fair and that's not fair and you know, this happened and that happened. Put your big boy pants on, pull them up, and do what you got to do to be a man. And once we start seeing this happening, things are going to change. And I always go back to identity, because that's the root of it all. Is not knowing who you are and not even having interest into looking into who you are or who you're supposed to be. We better edit that out, boy. That's not good. But I just want to leave you with that. I'm going to be kind of diving into this a little bit more as we go on. I know this is a bit harsh, but I wanted to spark some interest. I want people out there to say, what is he talking about? I want people to get a little offended. Because if you're living in a place of complacency and no one ever calls you out and you're never offended, nothing is ever going to change. And you look at today's, even the government is pushing this. They're trying to keep men down, real men down, because they know that it's divisive. They know that it's. I've always said this, right? They say that memory is the mother of success. Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to edit that out because I don't remember that. Memory. See, that's pretty bad. I can't even remember what memory does. You can edit that, right?
Might be even funnier to keep it in.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to move on because, man, why can't I remember that? Memory? Oh! I think it's repetition is the mother of memory.
Yeah.
Repetition is the mother of memory. Repetition is the mother of memory. Repetition is the mother of memory. But that's not the part I made up. That's somebody else's. Mine is complacency is the father of failure. So anytime we become overly complacent in any situation, it opens up the door for failure. And we don't want to be people who fail. We want to be people who succeed, people who overcome, people who can reach out to others that are in a position and speak into their lives and make changes. And as a little beta boy, we're not going to be able to do that. Again, society needs real men. That's the biggest issue that society's facing. With that, God bless. Talk to you later.